Let me set it up here. Chris sent a bunch of books out to CGC. He's revealing the grades. Some of them on his channel, some of them with another person, but some of them here on his show, our show, Comic Book Canon. He is going to be giving some CGC grade reveals for 4 books. We got 4 books, people. We got She-Hulk #1, which will be hot once that they announce whoever's going to be the lead in the Disney Plus show. Wonder Woman 7, the first appearance of Cheetah. Avengers Annual #10, I do believe the first appearance of Rogue. And Spawn #300. So, Chris, we're going to have to go full screen with you, man, because you're going to show these books. Do this. You're going to show the detail. I'll chime in before you reveal the grade, but we're going to do it, people. Here we go.
I definitely want I want you to guess the grade. Folks watching, you could sit there and leave comments in what grade you think these books are. I'm going to show them off to the best of my ability. I did show off 5 of these books on my channel. I guess 3 out of the 5 exactly, because I do have my list here of the grades that I assumed they were going to be when I sent them out. So I said, I think this book's going to be a 9.0 and so forth. I was spot on with 3 of them. I was off from 1 by a point of the grade, and the other was a complete flop. But we won't get into that. So we got 4 books here today. I'm going to show each books with the grades covered. So that's why I can have Jeff come in and have him say, I think that's this grade. And like I said, you guys leave your thoughts in the comments before the reveal. But yeah, let's get to it, huh?
Before we start, yes. I want to mention that we do have Chris's channel in the description below, so please check that out. He's got a ton of stuff he does outside of comic. He does way more stuff. Comic Book Canon. I'm honored to be working with him as a partner on this show. So here we go. Chris is gonna get to it with She-Hulk #1.
Let's do it. Now, I will say, too, I have 4 more books that I will be revealing with special guest Alice the Comic Hoarder on my Journos Comics channel. That'll be next Tuesday at 5:30 Pacific time. So let's get into these, though, guys. Okay, first up, She-Hulk #1, Savage She-Hulk #1. This is the first appearance of She-Hulk, and, of course, the first solo issue of her. So I love when you get a good book that's a good #1 first solo, but it's also a first appearance. Now, I was hesitant to bring this in. I've had this book since a kid. It was decently beat up. I gave it a good clean. You got a white cover here. I decided to send it in. My guess, guys, on this grade was a 5.0. Okay, so let's go into kind of showing this off, guys. First off, well, let's get a good look at that cover. I mean, I got the white pretty clean. There was a lot of dinge on that white. But, I did a good job cleaning it, gave it a press. Let's look at this spine. So there's a decent amount of wear. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I mean, there's got to be like 12, 13 spine ticks. And they're pretty color breaking. So if you guys can see, look, you can see them all right there. I'm trying to get the glare out. Let me see if we can get a little less glare there. Lots of spine tick action going on. Let's look at the corners. We got top corners pretty sharp. A little bit of foxing, some rounding of the corner there. Not too shabby though. We got a little bit of color breaking action going down on the bottom corner, and a little bit of chipping right there. The bottom is pretty smooth though, pretty smooth edge. A little discoloration along the edge here. The back, I wasn't able to get the back that clean. It's a little yellowed, a little more yellowed than the front cover. Little bit of dinge down here, if you guys can see that. But overall, a little bit of blunting on the back corner there. The bottom is really sharp, and I see a couple of the spine ticks folding, lapping over into the back, but not too many. So there it is, guys. Jeff, do you have an opinion?
I mean, it's really hard for me to see. Obviously, it'd be better up close, but you're 3,500 miles away from me. I'm gonna be optimistic here. Okay, I'm gonna go 6.5.
Woo! I like that. I like that. Yeah, you know, it's tough too. I think when showing it off on the camera, the white background makes it really tough to see any type of blemish. But I was extremely impressed with the cleaning job. I will say I guessed a 5.0, and I said, look, if this gets anything lower than a 4.5, I don't think it's worth it. And I'm going to bring up numbers of the return on investment after I reveal the grade too, just so we can kind of get an idea. Because just because we send a book into CGC doesn't mean that if we want to flip it, it's going to provide a larger return on investment. Because look, I thought this book was a 5.0. You're looking at it, 3,000 miles away, but you're going high. You're going with 6.5. But if this book is a lot lower, I have to sell it to the sticker now. I can't sell it to an estimated grade that you or I think. So without further ado, though, let's go ahead and hold on.
We got some guesses here in the comments. Kid Collector says 5.0. B. Schnur, 6.0. Isaac Maynard, 5.5. I got the highest. Kid Collector and yourself have the lowest. Let's see.
All right. You ready? Let me make sure I'm in position here. Here we go. Oh, I'm going to go like this.
Gut punch.
4.0.
Gut punch.
Yes. Gut
punch.
I mean, I am a bit upset. I really thought this wouldn't get any lower than a 4.5 after I cleaned it. I mean, look, I know you guys are looking at it from the perspective of a computer screen, but like there is no color breaks throughout the cover itself, besides the little scuffing down here. I think the biggest issue. There is some rounding of the edges, but I think honestly the biggest issue is that spine, and I think that's probably what did it. And the fact that it is a white background, and even though I cleaned it as best as that I could, but I'm a little disappointed. I think 4.0 is a bit low. I always talk about with CGC, if I sent this in tomorrow, it could probably easily come back a 5.0 for sure. Yeah. I want to go over some numbers here. Now the Savage Steel.
I just want to get into Bishner is doing a callback from your previous video. I think because you're really disappointed in that Spider Woman.
Yes.
And he says I cracked that and sent it back. And you got gypped. And then he said that was definitely the same grader that graded Spider Woman. To give context, Chris really was disappointed in the grade he got for that.
Yeah. This one, I'm not as disappointed, but it is a bit of a disappointment. Now let's look at the numbers here. Savage She-Hulk #1, CGC grade at a 4.0. My purchase price, I just guessed under $2. I got this as a kid, probably in the 80s still, so who knows? I may have got it for $1 in a back issue bin. Now, when you add the cost, the CGC cost to get it graded, my total cost for this book is $36. Fair market value in a 4.0 is $60. So if I decided to sell it, look, I still have a $24 return on investment in my pocket. So it's not that I lost out. And look, this book, like you said, Jeff, the hype is there. The hype's going to continue. This book's going to continue to go up. And look, She-Hulk has been an underrated character in my opinion. So even without the movie hype, this book will continue to slowly increase over time. So it's not a huge disappointment. I'm still happy to have this in my collection. And it's a special book to me because I've had it since I was probably like 7 years old. So
yeah. I mean, she's been in the Avengers, the Fantastic Four. She's got her show coming. So all right, here we go though. We're moving on to Wonder Woman #7. First appearance of Cheetah.
Here we are. Yes. So first appearance of let's read what it says. Barbara Minerva, the new Cheetah. Yep, there it is.
We got a new Wonder Woman movie if it ever gets released.
Yeah. Oh, I know, right? Yeah,
it will. So, it will.
This was my only DC book that I sent in, and it is the only DC book that I have in my slab collection. Now, my guess on this book was dun dun dun. I knew it was a higher grade. Wonder Woman #7. I guessed a 9.4.
Woo.
So let's go ahead and take a look at this, will we?
All right, the floor is yours. Here we go.
All right. Let's look at this. Well, try to get a look. Really nice cover there. Let's look at this spine. Sorry, it's the transpose. I still have difficulty. Tell you what, I'm gonna move this like this. There we go. Let's look at that spine. That spine is so clean, really clean. Look at that. There we go. Let's take a look at it too. I see not one spine tick. Not one spine tick whatsoever. Let's try to look at these corners. Really sharp corner down there. Edges are smooth. Corner up here, a little bit, man. So this corner is not a 9.8 corner. So a little barely bit of a ding there to make it not as sharp as it should be. Smooth top. Okay, I mean overall, there is just really no blemish to the front cover besides a little bit of barely noticeable rounding to that top corner. Let's go ahead and look at the back here. Really nice white back. That spine is still smooth. On the back, no spine tick at all. Again, top corner on the back, maybe a little something there. Bottom, perfectly smooth. So there it is, guys. Jeff.
All right. Well, obviously, this is a better. It will definitely be a better grade than what we dealt with the She-Hulk. I don't know, man, but I am a little worried about that top right corner. Right? Is that a concern?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I noticed.
Okay.
There is a little. There's no real foxing, but you get kind of that cut mark. Where you get a little extra fuzz right there from the cut, but that shouldn't affect the grade according to CGC. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I think that top right corner, was basically it. Oh yeah, I want to say too, we got I'll read. I believe this was white pages. You got a grade? What do you think?
I'm gonna go 9.0. Isaac Maynard gave it a 9.2. Kid Collector 7.5 to an 8.0 with the luck you've had. So we'll see. Let's just give it a go. Anybody else also want to give a guess as well while he rips it off? Here we go. I'm gonna go.
So we had my guess was 9.4. We got a 9. .4.
Whoa! Well, hello. There we go. There we go.
So spot on. So now I'm 4 out of 7 where I guess the exact grade. So I'm feeling pretty good about my grading skills here so far. So yeah, 9.4 white pages. Super excited. Let's look at the numbers here. So Wonder Woman number 7, first Cheetah, 9.4 grade. How much did I pay for this book? $1.50.
Woo!
With CGC cost, my cost for this book in total was $36. Fair market value right now is $60 in a 9.4. That may seem kind of low. And again, these numbers I calculated about a month ago, so they may have changed by now, but that's still about a $24, $25 return on investment. And this book, look out for this book once the movie comes out. I definitely am very happy to have this book, and in a 9.42, I cannot complain.
All right. So now we are moving on to Avengers Annual 10, first appearance of Rogue.
Yes, here it is. Here it is.
Okay.
Really awesome book. Let's bring up my guess for this book here, and then we'll look at it. Actually, well, yeah. Let's say Avengers Annual 10. I guessed an 8.5. So let's go ahead and take a look here, guys. Let's give you a good look at the front cover here without as much glare as possible. And let's take a look at the spine. It's kind of it's miscut, it's misaligned, but again, that shouldn't affect the grade. So you see a bit of the white along the spine. The spine is decently smooth. There's one decently good size spine tick, but it doesn't break color. And there's another one, two. So only about 2 spine ticks. I'll try to show you guys this spine here. Let's see. Let me see. Oh, there we go. There we go. I'm going to try to show you guys the one. The big spine tick is right about here. And right there in that glare, you could see it. You can see the little glare going into the book. That's a spine tick. Does not break color, though. Now, there is a bit of foxing at the top there. Not too bad. And a little bit of foxing at the bottom. Little bit there. Right there. The bottom corner, little bit of rounding. I mean, it's still sharp, but it's definitely has been impacted. A little bit of blending there. The edge is decently smooth, all the way, really smooth until you get to the top corner again, and you got a little blunting that it's more noticeable because you could see a little sort of like a discoloring there. And then if you look along the top, you might be able to see some ruffling. There you go. You can see there, right there. You see that in the glare? Look at that. Little bit of ruffling along the top edge, right in there. A little more even out here. So no color breaks within the book, though. There's no bends or creases in the book. Let's look at the back. Really white back. The back is really nice. I don't that one spine tick does kind of roll over to the back. In the back, the edges in the back cover are extremely sharp. I think it's so interesting how sometimes you'll get that front cover really gets the bulk of the wear because sometimes these back covers can still look pristine, really smooth, sharp cover on top, really white. So not much going on in the back there besides that one spine tick pushing through the book. So my guess was an 8.5. I don't know if you guys can notice, and this might be a printing thing, and I don't know if this would affect grade, but the orange is a little lighter on this side of the book, and it's a little more darker and glossy on this side of the book. I really think it's a printing thing. I think I would be able to tell if it was like a warp from the sun or discoloration from UV exposure because there's no effect to the other colors in panel. It's just like the orange changed contrast. So
Okay.
there it
Okay.
is.
So here we go. I think we have a consensus here for those that are guessing. I'm going to say a 7.5. Okay. B. Schnur, a 7.5 as well. Isaac Maynard is going with an 8.0. And Kid Collector is going with a 7.5. So what do we got, Chris?
All right, guys. Again, I guessed 8.5. We got an 8.0. 8.0. So I was
All right, that's not
first one
bad.
up.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
And Isaac Maynard wins here, guys. Just
Yep. He got it.
Isaac Maynard, 8.0 on point.
Very, very happy with the 8.0. You know, let's look at the numbers. Again, this is a book that, regardless of any movie hype or anything like that, it's a hot book that stays hot because of the character. You know, Rogue is an excellent character. I hope she gets more justice done in the MCU than how we saw her in the Fox movies too. But let's look at numbers here. We got Avengers Annual number 10, CGC grade of an 8.0. I paid $40 for this book. Not bad. With CGC costs, my total cost of this book was $75. Now, fair market value for this book is at $85, which is a $10 return on investment if I was to flip it and get that fair market value right now. But here's the thing again. This is just a nice Bronze Age first appearance, you know, and I really do think that this book would be even more of a hot item if Rogue was on the cover. And it's kind of disappointing, but still, I am holding on to this book. I think this book is going to continue to increase in value, and I think 8.0 is an overall very, very decent grade to have.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations on that one. And we have a final book for this evening, people.
Yes.
It is. I want to let Chris get into it. It's a nice one, though. Here we go.
Yes, guys, let me get a sip of water if you don't mind.
I just gave it away with the lower third. It's Spawn 300. I'm sorry, I just gave it away.
Quite all right. All right. This book is awesome to me because why? It is the J variant ASM 300 cover swipe. ASM 300 is one of my favorite covers of all time. I have my ASM 300 graded and slabbed in an 8.5 CGC. Happy to have that. And I have a good amount of cover swipes of this book. Love Spawn, so this was an awesome book to have. I bought a couple issues of this, and I looked over both of them to say which one I want an 8.0. I don't have an 8.0 in my collection, and I was like, you know, I really need to pick the best book, so I picked the best book. I gave it a press, and I said I have to get an 8.0 in my collection. So I guessed an 8.0. That's what I guessed. Now, looking at this book, you know, it's brand new off the shelf. You know, all those other books, back issue books, been in my collection for decades, whatever. This book is fresh off the shelf. So if we're looking at this book,
I'm gonna go on your single here. Here we go.
Awesome. We're gonna look at the spine. It's perfect spine. You can see the glare roll off that spine so beautifully. Look at that. Woo! Smooth edges. Oh man, beautiful. Let's look at this. Look at that. So smooth, so glossy. Perfect edge up there, pretty much. Smooth top. Now, interesting thing about this book, black back. So I'm like, man, if this black back affects me in a way to where I don't get my 9.8, man. But look at this black, guys. Just perfect. I mean, the ink that day was on point. Not one little blemish or anything to the black. And I know it's tough to see with the glare. You don't see the black as solid as I do looking at it, but just so smooth. Now, the one thing that was on this book that even after I gave it a press, I was a little concerned about. But what's interesting is even when I'm looking at it, I don't see it. I can't see it. But there was what looked to be right around here, what looked to be kind of like a little bit of a indentation, the size of a crescent moon, the size of a pinky, right? Of a tip of a pinky nail. And I was like, oh man. But I don't even see it now. So yeah, so I guessed a 9.8, hoping that this would be my first 9.8 in my collection.
I gotta say 9.8 as well. Bishner, fresh to death man, better be a 9.8. I've never heard that expression. I'm not sure what that means, but he's guessing a 9.8. Kid Collector has high hopes for you.
Yes.
He has a 9.9.
Oh, man.
I saw an unboxing recently. I think it was Very Gary Comics. He got two 9.9s in his returns from CGC.
Wow.
Okay, so Isaac, you're not going to like this. 9.6. So here we go.
All right. You went with 9.8, right, Jeff?
What's that?
You said 9.8?
I said 9.8.
Yeah, me too. I'm hoping for my first 9.8, guys. Let's do this. Whew. Oh, the anticipation. Sorry, it's real quick. I know, just to leave you guys in a little more anticipation, I doubled the painter's tape because when I did the reveal of the first 5 books on my channel, the one slab of piece of painter's tape wasn't enough, and you could see the grade through it. So I doubled them up here. That's why it's a little tricky to get my hand on it, but let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, and 9.8. Oh, we got a 9. Woo!
There it is. There it is, folks. 9.8, your first 9.8. Oh my gosh, I wish I had streamers and balloons to go off and some music we can license. That is great, man.
Yes.
I mean, you better be happy about that. The only thing better would have been a 9.9 or, you know, like, so.
Right. Yeah, yeah. And here so I am what? I'm out of 9 books, I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 9 on point, with 2 of them being off by just 1 grade point. So again, I'm feel confident in my grading skills. But yeah, so happy to have this 9.8. Let's look at the numbers real quick. So a 9.8. Spawn number 300 cover swipe. Where are we here? I paid obviously $5, $4.9. Well, you know, this was what the cover price of this book was. A little. It was like what, like $6.99 or $7.99. But I got it for 35% off. So I just rounded. I paid about $5 for this book because I bought it in a previews order. Total cost with CGC cost was $40 for this book. It's probably gone up a little bit, but last I checked, fair market value in a 9.8 was $80. That's a double return on my investment with a $40 ROI. So happy to know that, being that it's a brand new book. But hey, guys, again, this book is not going anywhere, and I do think this is a book that will be valued. You know, maybe not like a super key, but you know, it'll hold its value over time. And to have it in a 9.8, I'm just extremely happy, regardless. So.